Loving other people can be quite difficult, especially for us men. The reason for it is because we haven't started loving ourselves. Stay tuned as I'll be discussing some concepts that we can, put in place that's going to help us love others, but more importantly, start loving ourselves. Hey everybody, what's going on? Michael A. Benton here, and on this channel, I focus on giving men the knowledge and the tools that they need to help control the lives that they desire. If you're a man looking to better himself, subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every week. So I think a great place to start off is, what does it look like when you don't love yourself and therefore you can't love other people? And, I kind of think of my own experiences and stuff, but I think one thing that pops up for me is, your standards, whether you're upholding them or you don't have any standards at all. This goes about dating, right? If you don't love yourself, you probably won't have any standards when it comes to relationships. Meaning, you probably won't care too much about the woman's self-care. You probably won't care too much about, what she values, what she believes in, anything like that. Like you probably won't have any preference because you're not fully tapped into what you like. You're not fully aware of what you love and what you need in order to express love. So you're definitely not going to look for that in someone else if you're not looking for it in yourself. So I think that it hurts your relationships when it comes to standards. Or if you do have standards and you are lacking love within yourself, you're not gonna uphold those, right? You're probably going to be a little relaxed. There might be you might have some criteria that you are going to avoid. Like for instance, if someone smoked and your initial criteria was that you don't date anyone that smokes, you might go for the girl that smokes because she looks hot, right? But had you had the love in yourself that you required, you would uphold your criteria, right? You wouldn't bend or break for anyone, regardless of what they look like, regardless of how smart they were, and whatever. So I think that, again, when you lack love, obviously it affects your relationships, but it more so affects what you stand for, right? What are your standards? What are your beliefs? What are your values? And if you're not holding yourself accountable, those things will just go to the wayside. So that's why love is so important within yourself, because it does set boundaries, right? It does give you a list of criteria, like this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, and if they don't meet that, then that's not, they're not for me. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things that I think again would, if you didn't love yourself, would be affected. That goes along with saying too is like, self-care for yourself. Like, if you don't have love for yourself, do you think you're going to take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally? Probably not, right? These are the guys that, are sitting on the couch. They're couch potatoes. They have bad eating habits. They don't work out. They don't do anything socially. They're more so introverts for the most part. If they do go out and they have a good time, again, they're just kind of sloppy, right? They're not taking care of themselves. They're overeating. They're drinking more than they should. When it comes to the mental side of things, of taking care of themselves, they're not reading any books, they're not watching any YouTube videos, they're not listening to any podcasts, they're not doing things to expand their knowledge, right? And to, further their mental game, right? So, these guys have kind of given up, as so to speak, right? And so they're not fully taking care of themselves like they should. Had they have had the love inside them that they need, they would be more in tune to self-care, not to a crazy amount but at least they're out doing things that they like and that they enjoy, right? And they're not just wasting time away by sitting in front of a TV. So not being able to love yourself or not having enough love within yourself affects a huge part of who you are, and what you present to society, what value you bring to the world. So that's why it's super important, especially for men, because us men, if we don't love ourselves, imagine what that looks like when you have children, right? Or, or your spouse, let's say if you're married and maybe you lost that love. Like, imagine what it does to those types of relationships, right? Like, they slowly deteriorate. and you find yourself withdrawing from the relationship or from your partner, you find yourself avoiding your children, you find yourself, hating your job and your career, it just leads to all these different things. You're becoming even more stressed. There's just so much stuff that, with the lack of love, what it does to you, right? And then at the end of all of those problems, you find yourself sitting on your steps, and I'm kind of recounting myself, and you're asking yourself, like, what the hell happened? Like, where has all the time gone? Like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what am I doing? What's going on? And you don't want to get to that point. But again, that's why it's super important for you guys to have love within yourself and to be able to love yourself first. And then once you're able to love yourself first fully, then you can give all the love to those that are around you, friends, family, spouses, whatever, right? So love is important, guys. All right, so let me ask you guys a quick question here. Put your answers in the comments below. But do you think you can love others without loving yourself? All right, and then real quickly, there's two concepts that I want to talk to you guys about that will help reiterate the love within yourself, right? Or help to find that love again. The first thing I would say is treating yourself like those that you love. So let me give you an example. I love my son, my daughter a lot, like more than life itself, right? And so the way I treat them, if I was the type of person that didn't have, the love within myself, how I treat them is how I should be treating myself. So, when I see my son, I give him hugs, I smile at him, I'm joyful with him, I'm always wanting to do things with him, we talk about things that he's interested in. Like, I'm real jovial with him, right? And I'm loving towards him, and I hug him and I kiss him, and we wrestle, and we just do all those father-son things. And that's loving him, right? That's me loving him, right? So the way that I interact with him, the way that I communicate with him, the way that I show him affection, I should be showing myself that. If there's you have a friend that you love a lot, right? Like, think about, how do you treat them? How do you interact with them? What do you do to show them that you're appreciative of their love and their friendship, right? Do you take them out for their favorite coffee? Do they have maybe a game that they like to play all the time? Like, however you treat them is the same exact way that you should be treating yourself. And that is going to, again, internalize, bring forth love, and close up that wound that you have in your heart, right? And it's going to allow you to really start to radiate love within yourself, and then you're going to start to be able to do that to others as well. And it's going to come through like pure love, right? Like, it's not going to come through forced or anything like that. It's just going to be naturally, kind of like an aura, right, that you have about yourself. But you first got to get it within. You first got to find love for yourself. Another concept that really opens up the floodgates for love to come through from yourself is forgiveness. And so in regards to, showing forgiveness or having forgiveness for someone, here's what I want you guys to understand. When you forgive someone, it's not about, you're not saying that you're accepting what they did to you, right? Because again, it's wrong. What you're doing is you're accepting that thing has happened in the past, and now you're able to let it go, right? You can forgive that person, but you don't never have to forget what that person did, right? But here's why forgiveness is twofold. Because initially, when you told yourself that you weren't going to forgive that person, here's what you were trying to do. You were trying to block off from feeling that pain or anger from that person and anyone else in the future, right? And so you throw it in the back of your mind and you try not to think about it, right? But then you also, like a double-edged sword, you also end up blocking yourself from love and blocking others from obtaining your love, because again, you're trying to avoid that feeling of that pain and that ridicule that you went through. So that's why forgiveness is a double-edged sword, and it seems like it can be useful in the moment, but then in the long run, it's not useful. So, I would encourage you guys to be able to find forgiveness to those people or persons, and allow yourself to let it go, right? And to open up again and allow yourself to be vulnerable to yourself first, right? And then allow yourself to be vulnerable to the ones that you love. But again, being able to forgive someone for something that they did, no matter how drastic it might be, is so healing for yourself, right? It's so healing. And I know you're going to find comfort in it. And again, this may take some time for you to do. I mean, some of these wounds that you have might be fresh. Some of these might be years and years of trauma. But again, if you can get to a point where you can forgive, trust me, your love is going to flow, and you're going to be able to feel it physically. The energy is going to be within you, and others are going to be able to sense it as well, because again, you're going to be kind of like lit up, right? Like a light. So, yeah. Listen, whether you went through some type of trauma, or you kind of just shut yourself off from loving yourself, or forgot how to love yourself, and therefore you're not able to love anyone else, that can be very, very hard, right? And that can be a lonely road, but it doesn't have to be. And so I offer my services to you. I'm a certified life coach. I help men every day who are struggling with finding love within themselves and being able to love their loved ones. And so I encourage you to click on the link below. It's an email way to contact me, and let's just have a free consultation, and we can talk about what coaching looks like, what the results that you're going to be getting when you're working with me, and what are your top 3 areas that you're wanting to improve as you move forward. So I look forward to hearing from you guys very, very soon. Hey, if you guys want some more information or tips on how to practice or incorporate more self-love, you got to watch these 2 videos, man. They're going to give you some great information, some insight as to practicing self-care, and then obviously knowing your self-worth. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and as always, we'll see you on the next one.